This week I'm going to show you how to clean up your secateurs and give them a good sharpening to make sure that when you cut plants you don't give a kind of frayed edge to the stem which can lead to infection and disease getting in. Last week we looked at bypass secateurs and also anvil secateurs, but there are loads of different types available and we're going to have a look at some today. I want to look at the array of different secateurs that are available, and this is by no means the extensive range. I'm going to start off with this first one, the premium bypass secateur, and the really good thing about this type is that once you've released that catch you can adjust using this wheel here the extent at which the handles open, which are perfect for people with smaller hands, and also, if we twist that, great for people with larger hands too. If you're doing lots of delicate pruning, like deadheading roses and things, I guess to put that wheel to the minimum, just so that opening is very narrow, is great because you can get in there and this is not putting pressure on your hand, and sometimes you can get a bit of strain in the back of your hand, so that's a really good idea. The second pair we've got is this ratchet, and these are anvil ones. And the anvil ones, just to expand on last week, this here is where the blade chops into, and this doesn't move. So this area here is where you would put the large woody specimen, chop that down, and you get a good cut. They're not great if you're pruning deadheads on roses and tender, softer things like lupins and stuff. These ones are just regular bypass secateurs. They've got a good long blade, and they've got a plastic handle which is ergonomically designed, and they're very comfortable to use. And finally here we've got ones with interchangeable blades, so these have a variety of different uses, and again they've got great ergonomically designed handles. Now the good bit about this range is they come with a little plastic section here which, once removed, you can insert a sharpener. Once you've put a little bit of oil onto the blades, I like to take a small amount of fine wire wool and just rub it gently up and down the blades, and it gets rid of any little bits of rust or sap that's dried on. And that's the first stage in cleaning up the secateurs. Once you've got them nice and clean, take an old piece of rag and just wipe off any excess oil from the handles too, because they can be a bit greasy to use. And then pop on a little bit of clean oil onto the blade edge. Now we're going to sharpen it. So take your little sharpening tool, take my glove off this because it's a bit faffy, and then just with a circular motion, just like that, over the edge of the blade. And you can turn them over and just give it one or two just to remove the burr. Do that regularly and clean them with an oily rag every time you've used them, and they'll last for ages. They do come with a 10-year guarantee anyway. And that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. But before you go, I just want to go and check on the vegetable garden. We seem to have been harvesting this spinach for weeks now, and these bigger leaves can be a little bit tough, so you wouldn't really want to eat them as pure spinach. So what we've been doing is putting them in things like an Indian sagaloo or something like that. We've got a great Sri Lankan neighbour who's made us this great Sri Lankan dish with some spinach in it. And what I'm going to do is cut these leaves back just to encourage more new smaller leaves, which are great for salads and things. So I'm just going to remove these large ones. We also don't want them to bolt. Bolting, by the way, means flowering, and sometimes when you get a hot period and a dry period together, the plant panics and bolts and sets seed, and then it becomes useless. Although the spinach is nearly over, one thing that's nearly ready, or is ready, are these little turnips. Look at the way that these are growing together. Really, really strong. And these little beauties will be perfect for Sunday lunch. Join me next week when we'll be showing you how the garden was created from start to finish. But until then, have a great gardening week.